What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll be looking at a commonly misunderstood plant fiber, hemp. In this quick episode, we'll evaluate what hemp actually is, we'll take a brief look at its history, we'll look at its benefits and its potential drawbacks, and by the end of this episode, effectively you should have a much better understanding of this commonly misunderstood and underrepresented plant fiber. And you'll be able to walk away with the effective information that you'll need to make a decision on whether this fiber is going to be right, either in your wardrobe or as part of your upcoming fashion collection. What's up, design family, and welcome to Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. Getting right into it, hemp is an extremely important fiber when it comes to the sustainable textile space. Hemp is considered a natural plant fiber that we extract from the bast of the cannabis sativa plant. It's often considered a super fiber. Also, true hemp in its natural format is often light colored. It's extremely also lustrous when it comes to its touch and its feel. Naturally, hemp is considered one of the most environmentally friendly fibers available, and fine quality hemps can even be compared to linen when it comes to their touch and their feel. We often also see hemp being added to other fibers to even help improve the touch and feel of those other fibers. So there's definitely a lot of benefits when it comes to not only the way that hemp is in terms of its sustainability, but also in terms of its touch and its hand feel. Moving on, let's take a brief look at the history of hemp. Hemp is one of the oldest known fibers and was discovered all the way back in 8000 BC, and it's been said to have been discovered in a tomb in Colombia. Also, hemp has been known to be used in early Asian and Middle Eastern civilizations in a ton of different applications, including textile production. Hemp is also known to have played a significant role dating all the way back to 16th century England. Legend has it, or as we know, even King Henry VIII actually published a law that would fine farmers who failed to grow the crop because of how important and industrial it was. As a result, this plant fiber has actually been used for the last 6,000 years consistently in a variety of different applications, especially in the case of textile production. So why is hemp so useful and why is it so widely used? Well, we've already mentioned that hemp as a fiber is extremely sustainable. Why is that? Well, it's rapidly renewable. It's a fiber that can grow up to 4 meters in just 3 months, and it continuously is replenishing itself. It requires minimal chemical inputs, so it's extremely good on the environment, doesn't require a lot of workmanship and a lot of actual industrialization to grow it. Also, it's extremely flexible in the different types of climates it can grow. So it's a type of fiber that you can pretty much find all over the world and is extremely plentiful and abundant if grown correctly. Now, we've looked at the benefits, and of course, on the flip side, there are going to be some potential drawbacks. And most of these drawbacks are actually rooted in what is known as retting. And retting results as a result of the extraction process of hemp from these stems. When we extract hemp from these stems of plants, wastewater is produced, and this wastewater has been known to be quite harmful to aquatic ecosystems. So that's definitely something to bear in mind as a potential drawback. We've looked at the history, we've looked at the description, we've looked at the benefits and the drawbacks. Now, let's observe the key characteristics of this plant fiber and hopefully try to understand which type of clothing hemp would best be used for. First, it's 8 times stronger than cotton, so hemp-based items will retain their shape extremely well over time. Also, it does weaken in strength when it does get wet, so if it comes to a sportswear application, this is definitely something to bear in mind. Also, it's quite breathable and extremely cool to wear, which makes it a great option for summer items. Moving on, hemp is known to be quite UV resistant, and at the same time, it has a lot of resistance against mildew and insects, which is a major plus to the performance of hemp over time in these situations. It's also hypoallergenic, so it's not going to irritate the skin, but depending on the quality and the type of hemp used, it can be scratchy on certain skin types. That is definitely something to bear in mind. When it comes to the color fastness of hemp, hemp-based products are known to be quite hard to dye because hemp does have a high lignin content. So you're usually going to see quite desaturated colors that tend to fade over time when you're using hemp in textiles. It also does soften after wash and wear, so its long-term durability does take a hit depending on how you treat hemp-based products. It's prone to wrinkling, and lastly, when it comes to its sustainability, it's extremely biodegradable and renewable. So when it comes to sustainability, it is a fiber that is going to check off that box. Well, that is a wrap on this episode, guys. Hopefully by now you have a much better understanding of what hemp is, what its history is, how to describe it, how to analyze and understand it, and ultimately what the key characteristics of hemp are going to be. This should give you the key decision-making tools to decide, is this fiber right for me? And is this a fiber I want to invest in when it comes to creating a fashion collection? Guys, if you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about other types of fibers and materials, definitely check out our channel. We've done a ton of these different fabric spotlights. I highly recommend you check them out. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. We put out great content on a week-to-week basis, and we never skip a beat when it comes to launching new episodes. So definitely subscribe to the channel, you won't regret it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next episode, stay awesome.